Okay, in this video we're gonna learn how to use the playback feature. We are right now on the home screen or dashboard. Here eventually you're gonna have a list with all your devices. In our case we only have one, Media VR Test. We have two options to use the playback feature. We can use it right here from the home or dashboard. You can simply click on the playback option, or we can do it right from our device itself. Okay, we have a camera, we have it selected, and then here we have the playback button. Okay, let's start with the playback option here on the dashboard. As you can see, we have no devices selected by default. It is not linked to any device specifically. So let's click on playback. Since we're not linked to any device, all we gotta do is click on the little plus or tap anywhere on that screen to add or select the device camera that we want to run the playback. Down here we're gonna have a list of our devices, as well a list of cameras that are connected to that device. Okay, to expand that, simply click on the little arrow icon on the left side of the camera name, and then it will expand that list. For this video I'm gonna be using camera number 1. Okay, it will load the footage from today's, okay, today is April 13, 2023, starting at midnight, 0 a.m. per se. Okay, we can double tap on the camera to maximize its size. Down here we have a way to take a snapshot of that very moment. Okay, let me do it, and as you can see, it will take a snapshot of that very moment, and it will save it inside the DMSS internal folder. By default it won't save these files on the phone's library. Okay, but I'll show you how to access and transfer these files, snapshot or videos, you know, to the phone's library. So the first one is snapshot. The second one is if you want to record this very moment without the need of trimming, you know, or selecting the part of the video that you want to record. I find this one here to be a little bit easier, because what we can do, we can pause the video, you know, wait until the activity or that the moment we want to record starts happening, and then click on this little cam recorder. Let me click on it, and then you're gonna see on the upper left corner a little red bullet icon with the time. You see, that means we have 7 seconds and 8 and so on. If you want to stop recording, tap on the icon again, same thing, it will save, and you know, it will save the file in the DMSS internal folder. The scissors, they work in a similar way, you know, as for the camera. I find it to be a little bit more complicated, but it's more precise, because you can set the time, the start and end time of your video. Okay, let's do that. Let's use the scissor. What I'm gonna do is click on it again, loading. When you click on the scissors icon, here as you can see, you're gonna have the button to start the end of that record. Let me click on it. At this moment we set in the start time for the trim, the period that we're gonna be cutting off the video. After you're done, you got what you want, tap on the stop button, and then DMSS will show you this pop-up screen. Do you want to start downloading? Start time along with the date, and end the time along with the date. If you say OK, it will start downloading that footage over to your phone. It's at this moment, oops, sorry, there was a message here that I couldn't read. Let's do it again. Play and then stop. Do you want to start downloading? Start time and time. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I mentioned previously. It saves inside DMSS internal folder. I'll show you how to find and access those files later on. Next option we have is a fisheye. That does not apply to this type of camera because this is not like a fisheye camera, so we're not gonna be talking about this option at this moment. Right below this bar we have the calendar. So far we've been using the playback feature for today's date. Okay, so if you want to change the date, all you gotta do is come down here on the kind of date section of the DMSS, tap on it, and then it will open the calendar. With the calendar you can switch, you know, the date. You can select the date that you want to retrieve your data. Okay, with one important thing that I want to mention: the days that you have data available for playback, they usually will be kind of different from the regular days. Usually they have either a highlighted day, you know, the background is usually colored, or they also have like a colored bullet on the upper right corner, maybe the lower left corner, and so on. But right now that's the way you can know whether a specific day has or has not data. For example, we do have data all the way back until April 1st, this date, but for example tomorrow didn't happen yet, which is Friday the 14th, 2023. So days without data will be displayed just like a regular day. Okay, let's go back to Fool's Day, April 1st. Down here we have the record type. Usually I recommend you leaving all, because you want to see all types of recordings. Okay, but you can also use regular, alarm, motion, smart, motion vehicles, motion human. Some cameras they have this called smart motion detection that identifies human and vehicles. Some other cameras even can identify pets, you know. So there are a lot of cameras out there with several different features, but for this video, like I said, I always recommend you leaving all as the record type. Once you have the date, select all and then hit OK. Now DMSS is gonna bring the data. It's going to pull the data from April 1st 2023, which is the date we selected. Of course you might have a different date, you know, by the time you watching this video, or the day you need to retrieve from your camera recorder. One important information that I want to mention here as well is, let me go back to the calendar. The amount of days that you can have available on your recorder varies from recorder to recorder. It all depends on the capacity, the amount of memory that you have installed on your recorder. It's just like a phone. You have phones with 64 gigabytes, 128, 512, 1 terabyte, and so on. Same thing applies to camera recorders, okay? The more memory you have, the more days you're gonna be able to hold up, okay? For this one here, we have about 1 month. I know because we've been using it for a while, but this one we have data going back for about 1 month or so. Okay, I can prove you that simply by coming up here and changing the month. I'm going to go to the month of March. Okay, 2023, March 1st. Hit the check button and let's wait until it loads up. You see, we go about March 16. It's about 1 month, as I said. You see, before that we have no data. Okay, so let's go back to today's date. Today I believe is the 13th. Actually, we were using April 1st, Fool's Day. Let's go back to April 1st and then hit OK. Again, the DMSS will pull up all information from that day, and down here we have the timeline. I haven't mentioned that directly in the past in the previous videos, but this is the timeline. The DMSS, as you know, like a mobile app and a few other mobile apps out there, they use a 24 hours format. Some people, they also call it military time. It does not work with a 12 hours, you know, like 10 a.m., 10 p.m. It goes from 0 all the way to 24. So here on the timeline, we have the option to slide it to the left or to the right, so we can go straight to a specific time. Let's say I want to go to 10 a.m. We are right here, see, and then I can click anywhere within the timeline bar. Let me tap here. I'm sorry, we have to slide it. You see this blue bar, vertical blue bar, that's the place where we're gonna be. So we have to place our time right near it. So right now we are about 9:58 in the morning, see? And then you can double check that simply by looking at the clock on the right upper right side of your camera. You might have this placed somewhere else, you know. By default, these Dahua recorder cameras, they show up the timestamp on the upper right corner. Okay, it could be anywhere, but the important thing is that you have the information. So now we are on April 1st, 9:58 in the morning. Okay, and we are on all view mode. Okay, we are grabbing all types of recordings, and that's it. Okay, that's it for playback. I'm going to show you now how to access the files that were saved for snapshot, the manual recording, and the download that we've done through the playback option. To do this, we gotta go back to the dashboard, click on the home here, home page, and then you're gonna come down to this option on the bottom called Me, and then you're gonna have this My Files section. As you can see, we already have a few thumbnails, you know. Let's click on All, and the DMSS will split this in two tabs: video and picture. We have 4 videos and we have 2 pictures. And of course, from here, if you want to work with like a specific excuse me, file, you can click on the Edit button and then select the file or files that you want to work with. You see the check. The check mark means that we have these 2 files selected. Okay, I'm gonna work with this. And down here we have the option to share, and then you can share your files with, you know, all available options that you're gonna have on your device. Could be text message, email, and WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, and so on. The one in the middle here is to save that file. When you click on save, you are telling, you might not see it right now because, as I mentioned previously, I am using a Android emulator, okay? But that is like a floppy disk icon here to save your file. And when you click on that option, at this moment, you're going to be saving your data. You're gonna be transferring your data to your phone's library, okay? Because by default, as I mentioned previously, DMSS won't save the data directly on your device's library. It usually saves everything within the internal folder that it was created by DMSS when we first installed it. And the other option we have is to delete the file, the selected file or files, okay? I'm gonna click on it. Are you sure to delete? Okay, and then it will delete that file. Same applies to videos. Okay, you go to the video tab, click here, select the file or files, and of course you have the option. Now we have the save button. For some reason, I don't know why it didn't show for pictures, but this is what you're gonna have. So we have the option to share, we have the option to save, and at this moment you see now it is saving or transferring, not transferring, in fact it is copying, sending a copy of that file to your phone's library. At the end you're gonna have two copies of the same file, one available on your phone library, the other one available here on your DMSS, okay? So and again we have the option to delete. One important thing that I would like to mention when you're working with video files, okay, since you might be using high definition, pretty good quality cameras, and the better the quality, the larger will be the file generated by the DMSS. And with that said, I mean, if you're trying to share a specific file, especially video, via email or regular text messages, you may not be able to do it so because of the limit of those apps when it comes to attachments. At least as of this day, I know there might be a limit of up to 20 megabytes attachment capacity for Outlook. Text messengers, I think they are even lower than that. I believe they go up to 2 megabytes, whereas with WhatsApp, for example, allows you to go with up to 2 terabytes. Telegram goes up to 2 or 4 terabytes. Probably by the time you're watching this video, that number might have been increased. There is no more limit on attachments. So, but right now, 2023 April 13th, that is this limitation. Okay, I think that it's important to mention that because some users, especially people who are not really savvy with IT technologies or even computer stuff, they will think that if I come here and select all videos, click on share and use Outlook or any email client that you're trying to use or share the video with, let's say you want to share it with like your regular Facebook Messenger or regular telephone messenger, you think you're gonna work, it won't. Okay, that is like a limitation that won't let you share files larger than, I don't know, certain amount of megabytes. And I think that's all. Let me go back to the home page. So went back to the previous screen, me, and then we have here all my files. And then if I click on home, don't pay much attention, shouldn't show up here, but it is asking you to like give it a feedback. I'm gonna say not now, even though I like DMSS a lot. It's a pretty powerful app, but still, that's not the time for this. And I think that's all for playback videos. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave a message or a comment on our comment section, and we'll do our best to help you out.